I'm showing up on your For You page because you're concerned about the rise of fascism here in the United States and you want to know what to do about it. Well, I've got some recommendations from my anti-fascist book club. This is Strongmen by Ruth Ben-Ghiat. And in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the lessons that we can learn from this book and how we can apply it to problems that we're facing today, as in like this week with Elon Musk and Donald Trump trying to get the government to shut down right before the holiday season. So if you've been watching the news, you know that Elon Musk has decided that he wants the American government to close. He wants hundreds of thousands of federal employees to no longer get paid. So Elon Musk made this decision. He tweeted it out and basically bullied President-elect Trump into following suit and saying, okay, we're going to torpedo this bipartisan bill that Republican Speaker Mike Johnson had spent weeks, if not months, working to get passed. So Elon Musk, the richest man on the planet, who receives more money from the federal government than any person in history, he decided that he wants the government to shut down, told his pet Donald Trump that that's what needs to happen, and then a bunch of spineless members of Congress on the Republican side said, oh, okay, we're going to do whatever you say, President Elon. Now, keeping in mind that Donald Trump is not president yet, Joe Biden is still our president. It is extremely disturbing that some billionaire decided to rage tweet, and that is going to potentially shut down our government. That is a massive amount of influence that one single unelected person has on the livelihoods of hundreds of thousands of federal employees, services that are provided to countless Americans. And this is how fascism comes to power. It starts flexing power outside of the democratic norms. Well, what do we do to fight against it? Well, we resist. Now, you might be tired of the word resist by now, and I don't blame you, but that's not what I mean. I don't mean the hashtag resist kind of thing. I mean, let's take actions that actually matter. Now, Ruth Ben-Ghiat writes, the word resistance may conjure the armed insurrections of World War II against the fascists and Nazis. Violence certainly features in its history. Around the world, resistors from outlawed movements or parties that oppose the regime with weapons have lived underground, cut off from family and friends. And she continues, most resistance in strongman states is nonviolent, though, and unarmed protest has been among the most effective. It may start with solo or small group acts of protests like the, quote, down with Hitler, unquote, graffiti the White Rose group left on the walls of government buildings in 1943 Munich. Public art and messaging proclaim the existence of individuals who are, quote, refusing to accept the disinformation and lies, refusing to accept the abnormal as normal. And then she writes how a Chilean graphic artist made a caricature of Pinochet as Louis XIV on the cover of a magazine, which resulted in that magazine's editors going to jail for, quote, extremism. The reason that happened is because being laughed at is something strong men dread. Let me say that again. Being laughed at is something strong men dread. So that brings us to today and this brilliant clip from CNN during an interview with Adam Kinzinger, where he's poking fun directly at Donald Trump in a way that is strategic and has a positive effect. The goal is to drive a wedge between two of the most powerful people on the planet, Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Here's how he does it.
What do you make of the politics of the president-elect trying to kill this bill along with the help of Elon Musk here?
Look, President Musk this morning made it clear with all his vast government experience, which is basically he became rich on the federal government, that he doesn't want Republicans to pass this. And seemingly Vice President Trump kind of backed him up then at that point. I think President Elon has made it clear what his agenda is going to be for the next 4 years.
So we know from Mary Trump, who is Donald Trump's niece and a trained psychiatrist or psychologist, that Donald Trump has a real problem with being made fun of. He is very insecure. He is very sensitive. Despite the wealth, despite all of the power, he is someone who has paper-thin skin, someone who is so wounded with just words and ridicule. That insecurity explains a lot of why the man is so toxic and bombastic. And Adam Kinzinger knows this. He is someone who has had to study Donald Trump. So by reducing Donald Trump to being the assistant for Elon Musk, that is something that is going to get under Donald Trump's skin and do it in a way that produces a good result for all of us. We do not want the two most powerful people on the planet, the richest man on the planet and the incoming president of the United States, to be closely allied. Elon Musk, if he is still close to Donald Trump next year, he is going to be able to use his massive, massive wealth and resources to back a fascist state. And so long as Elon Musk and Trump are in good graces, Trump will continue to allow Elon Musk to drastically increase his wealth through government contracts. But if through ridicule we are able to drive a wedge between those two, this out-of-control oligarch will not be able to influence our government as well. And the fascist state run by Donald Trump will not have the backing of the richest person on the planet. So it's not just up to people like former Congressman Adam Kinzinger, someone who served on the January 6th committee. It's not just up to people like them to drive this messaging, to make sure that Donald Trump hears this, that he is subservient to Elon Musk, that he is Elon Musk's cuck. We all have a part to play. Whatever app that you're watching this video on, it's going to pick up on comments and the words that I'm using. And if it starts to recognize patterns, it starts to push that messaging into the feeds of other people. And if we collectively can convince people to start writing, commenting on any video that involves Donald Trump or Elon Musk, President Elon Musk or President Musk, and Vice President Trump or Vice President Donald Trump, those phrases will start to become more popular, more people will start using them, and there will be more opportunities for talking heads on television, who Donald Trump is definitely going to see, to drive that message to Donald Trump, that he is Elon Musk's cuck, that he is vice president to Elon Musk, the president. So again, as Ruth Ben-Ghiat says in her book Strongmen, being laughed at is something strong men dread. And we know that Donald Trump is hypersensitive to his masculinity being questioned, to his power, his dominance being questioned. And if we drive the narrative that he is Elon Musk's vice president, it's going to cause a bad breakup between those two. And if those two break up, that's good for all of us. We don't want the fascist state to have every single oligarch in this country supporting them. We want the oligarchs to be against Donald Trump. So by commenting on this video and any video that you see about Elon Musk or Donald Trump, that Donald Trump is Elon Musk's vice president, you are doing your part to drive a wedge between those two. So you may feel powerless, but you're not. If you're able to watch this video, you have the power to influence the algorithm, influence the messaging that can potentially rise up to Donald Trump and result in a breakup between the two most powerful people on the planet. People who are adamantly opposed to your freedoms. So if you haven't picked up this book yet, you're watching this on TikTok, you can buy it here in the app right below. If you're watching it anywhere else, you can go find my link tree, and I've got it in my store. Pick it up. You should read it before January 20th, 2025, before Donald Trump becomes president. Again, this is Strongmen by Ruth Ben-Ghiat.